Hi, welcome to the Thank You, I'll Have Another, where we talk about quality craft beers and fine spirits. That's what we talk about here, folks. Putting the cock in cocktails. That's what we do here, folks. So I have here a delicious craft beer. Now, I had to go through quite a bit of trouble to acquire this craft beer, and I can't tell you where, but I can tell you where it's brewed, and that is the beautiful Golden, Colorado. You may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it. This is Coors Light.
If you feel a great beer starts with great water.
It's the right beer now.
And like I was saying, born in the Rockies, 1978. You might see this at a lot of young people events, young people parties, young people get-togethers, young people hangouts, which I don't know how they got these. They might have a connection of some sort, because this was very, very hard for me to locate. What I really like about Coors Light is the mountains on the can. They'll turn blue, which these are kind of a little bit blue, or not really anymore because it's not as cold as it should be. But this is a very fine craft beer. It was first produced in 1978 by the Coors Brewing Company. The beer has a cold certified label, which turns the mountains on the label from white to blue when the beer's temperature is lowered to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Coors Light has a mountain icon to represent the beer in place of the logo. The icon is a stylized drawing of a mountain with two peaks. There are more than two peaks on here. One peak, two peak, three, four. So I don't really know where they got that information, but now you might see a lot of people shotgunning these, which is not. You're not supposed to shotgun Coors Light. It is very, very, very disrespectful to Adolf Coors, what's his name, that brewed these, and I believe 1645.
Silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light, it's the right beer now.
Oh. Rocky Mountain Cold. Zero circumstances are you supposed to shotgun Coors Light like an animal, like a savage. Okay, because that's not how you enjoy a delicious craft beer from the beautiful and very, very, very cold Rocky Mountains. Just as cold as the blue mountains on this can, signifying that it is under 39 degrees Fahrenheit, like we discussed earlier. So yes, let me show you how you're supposed to drink Coors Light. This is a Coors Light glass. Very beautiful. Kind of has a little stain on it from the dishwasher. Little stain on it from the dishwasher, but that's fine because I drink a lot of craft beers, and so this is always getting washed, a whole bunch. That's nice. That is very nice. I can already tell there's quite a bit of yeast and hops and malts and grains and anything of that sort. Anything that goes in beer, I can tell it is in here. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Do you ever do that where you can just smell the rich aromas? I'm salivating for this. I want this beer so bad. Ooh. Yes, folks. A good technique if you want to test out fine quality craft beers is kind of try to treat it like wine, like a fine wine almost. I can't really tell what spices or barley or perhaps cinnamon or some sort of hazelnut. I'm not quite sure what's in this, but what I do know is it is delicious. I feel so fancy drinking. Like, I'm telling you folks, this was hard to find. I'm sharing it with you, and you only. Oh. I don't want to toot my own horn or sound conceited or anything, but I've done a lot of studies and a lot of time partaking in craft beers, and this is one of the better ones. Honestly, I think I've had. So if you can go out and try to find perhaps maybe a they might sell it in 4-packs, maybe a 6. Of course, Coors Light is what it's called. Ask for the local liquor store. I mean, I'm sure they can probably order it for you. Now we have one more item we're going to review today on. Thank you. I'll have another. That's what the show is now called. But before we do, it's a bourbon. So before we review that, I think we need to freshen up a little bit. Welcome back, folks. Now we just reviewed a very delicious, very delectable craft beer. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit more elegant, and you may have noticed my wardrobe change, but I wanted to put on something a little bit more classy, a little bit more fitting for this next product we're going to review. Now this, my friends. Now the craft beer we tried was very hard to find. So I wanted to show us something that we can all get our hands on. This was not hard to find. It did not take me any time at all to locate a bottle of Eagle Rare. Little look-sies. Got it. Eagle Rare. Now this is Eagle Rare, a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Now, like I said, if you don't have a collared shirt, don't worry. Just don't drink any bourbon. Okay, you have no business drinking any bourbon if you can't look the part. Okay, bourbon is a very high-class drink, and so if you don't have a collared shirt that you can throw on while you're drinking, then you have no business drinking it. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and pop into this. We got a shaker here. I'm gonna maybe prepare an old-fashioned, but my ice cubes aren't done, so we're just going to maybe taste test this guy. And it's not open yet, if you can tell. So we'll dive right in. We'll dive right into it. Oh, I'm gonna get that for you guys. Ooh, that's nice. Eagle Rare. Smells strong. Alright, let's give it a go. Now it's very important again, folks. Make sure your collar is present. People want to know. Again, folks, make sure your collar is present. Okay, if somebody sees you drinking bourbon on the street without a collar, they will say something, and I'm just trying to save you the embarrassment. All right. So you don't want to trust me. You don't want to be embarrassed when you got a bottle of bourbon and a T-shirt on. Okay. All right. So we got our glass of bourbon here. Again, Eagle Rare, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Woo-hoo! That is strong, folks. All right, I'm a bourbon man. Okay, I've had a little bit. I've had a glass of bourbon in my time, but it's been a while. I won't lie to you. Oh. Oh my. This is something fierce. This is something very, very, very delicious, I will say. Look at the color on it. That's a nice color to the bourbon. Very nice. It's not quite on the level of the craft beer we tried earlier. That was something that was a real treat, really. But this Eagle Rare Kentucky Straight Bourbon, this will probably run you about 40, 45, 50 bucks. Okay. Try it again, and let me let you know the notes that I get off this. Okay. The notes I get off of it. Smoky. It's very smoky. It's very smoky. Very almost a little peppery. It's got a little maybe paprika or some sort in it. But delicious nonetheless. Now it's aged 10 years. But just because it's 10-year-old doesn't mean they're not hip. If you want to find this bourbon, they include their email address. I don't know if you can see that. Their email address is right there. That's very cool. Eagle Rare at bourbonwhiskey.com. How do you get the? I don't know how you get that. Bourbonwhiskey.com. But this bourbon is 90 proof, so 45% alcohol, I believe. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky. Now this is a very fine bottle of bourbon. I forgot to rank the last craft beer we tried. I'm gonna rank that last craft beer we tried probably a 9.5 out of 10. Now I only give that high of score to something I find very special. As for this bourbon, run of the mill bourbon, I'm gonna give it probably about a 5 out of 10, really. It's good. Notes of cherry wood, sparked oak, maybe a little birch wood, maybe something kind of. It smells like liquor. Okay, it smells like straight 90 proof liquor. I could probably put a match inside of this and light this whole fucking place on fire. But 5 out of 10 for this bourbon. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Thank You. I'll have another. And go out and buy you a bottle of Eagle Rare bourbon, or go out and buy you a 4-pack. I think like I said, talk to your local liquor store, but I think they sell it in 4-packs. I don't know. It's really hard to find. Of course, Light. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.